Hi, this is Devosh, the creator of Outgoing Middle Management, and welcome back. This video is part 2 of Module 3, Effectiveness, and we are going to cover 4 additional effectiveness strategies. And I know that the videos are long, but I want to give you as many success strategies as I can. So let's get started. The 5th effectiveness strategy is focus. In the foundation videos, we talked about the distortion of the Pareto law from 80-20% to 95-2.5%. The concept is simple. Only a fraction of your actions will yield most of your outcomes. Therefore, you should spend most of your time on setting the right priorities. Once you are clear about your 2.5%, focus all your efforts and resources toward these priorities. The first step to be more focused is to direct your thoughts forward. Focus requires a strong combination of mental and emotional concentration in the direction of your highest priority. Even if you shut down all the digital noise, distractions still come from your own mind. We have talked about reducing many of the digital distractions by eliminating notifications on your devices, allocating time blocks for emails and social media, and turning off your devices during power hours. But how can you turn off the noise that comes from your mind? Your mind provokes subconscious and conscious thoughts from the past and projects fears toward the future. Therefore, the more you focus forward, the less distraction you will get from the past. It is like driving a car. You look in the rear mirror for just a fraction of the time to get oriented with the traffic behind you. If you focus too long on the rear mirror, you will soon be involved in an accident at the front. The key is to develop checkpoints multiple times throughout the day. If your thoughts begin to wander to the past, pull yourself back to the future. Most fears of the future originate in the past. Your brain processes past experiences and projects them into future fears. Shift your mental engagements from past experiences to future endeavors. This will help reduce the noise caused by anxiety. The second step is to simplify complexity. Complexity challenges your ability to focus. Complexity doesn't mean complicated. A complicated system is made of many different parts that each of them has a different role. Just the opposite, a complex system is made of many similar parts, and it is their interaction that creates complexity. Complex systems have many interacting parts which behave according to simple individual rules that result in unpredictable behavior. The behavior of the system as a whole cannot be predicted from the individual roles only. Let's look at the World Wide Web. The complexity is not because of the internet protocols or network technology. The complexity is because of the interaction of billions of systems and people around the world. But despite the complexity, we can find anything that has been published on the web in just a few seconds using the simplest web page, Google Research. Have you ever seen a simpler website than Google? One tiny box gives you access to most of the knowledge in the world. Google is a great company because of its ability to simplify complexity. Simplifying means creating predictable and reliable results. Complexity means that the system is emergent, unpredictable, and unexpected. Simplify complexity in your organization by focusing on the interactions and the interfaces between different individuals, business units, systems, and procedures. Most people and business units work in silos. Once you focus on the interactions, You will find ways to simplify complexity so that the outcomes will be predictable like Google search results. Another example of simplifying complexity is business intelligence. It combines all databases, systems, and information into one simple, versatile dashboard. So, to summarize complexity, focus on simplifying the interactions and interfaces and creating reliable and predictable results. The third step to focus is to achieve alignment. If you focus on one thing and your team focuses on different things, you are not effective because you will not achieve the expected outcomes alone. You need strong alignment with as many people as possible. You align people by engaging them. The more people you engage in your endeavors, the more people focus on your agenda. So let's summarize the strategies that improve your power of focus. Think forward, simplify complexity, and achieve alignment. Before we move on to the next strategy, here are some tips to improve your ability to concentrate. The first tip is to take a break every 45 to 90 minutes. During breaks, take a walk, listen to music, or do push-ups. Don't turn on your digital noise. You will not be able to return. The second tip is to do 5 more. When you cannot do it anymore, just think about doing 5 more minutes, 5 more pages, or 5 more slides. The third tip is single tasking. Avoid multitasking because it takes a long time for the brain to switch between tasks unless you're doing very simple tasks that don't require thinking. If you lose focus, everything will get delayed. There is a saying that it takes much longer to do things when you are not doing them. The sixth effectiveness strategy is change. Change catalysts are the business drivers in the new world. Change management has become a popular buzzword. The world changes fast, and we have to change too. The typical change process is a re-engineering of existing processes and offerings. It works to a degree. More effective change is the outcome of creating something new from scratch rather than changing what has already been created. How can you become a change catalyst? First, develop your signature expression. Signature expression is the unique art that you bring into your organization that becomes your footprint and your legacy. It should be so recognizable that even if you don't sign your name to it, people know immediately that it is yours. Style, for example, can be a signature expression. It is very cool to have your own style, but style alone will not kick you to the top. You need substance beyond style. The signature expression is the unique concept that you develop, brand, and use across your projects and presentations. It is your unique selling proposition and your personal brand. When I was in finance, my financial operational integration through business intelligence was my signature expression. In another company, China expansion was my signature expression. I connected everything to this project, and I involved many people in other countries in the project because it was my signature expression. So find your signature expression and start to embed it into your work. The second step is to become a game changer. You have to play the game if you want to change the game. Are you really playing the game or just participating? Participants can be either players or bystanders. The players are actively engaged in winning the game. They bring their heart and soul to the game. They bring energy and passion to the rest of the team. They want to make a difference. They choose to be there and bring everything they have to the game. The bystanders play the game, but they are afraid of getting hurt. Can you really be a player if you're afraid of pain? Are there any professional football players who become stars if they are afraid of getting hurt? Game changers are more prone to injury than other players because they compete with both the rivals and also their own teammates who are reluctant to change the game. They face resistance from players and bystanders. Becoming a game changer is worth all the effort, blood, and sweat, and you will get a lot of that as a game changer. The third step is collaborative change. To move things around, you need the power of more than one person. You have to create a movement. You have to build momentum. One of the common mistakes I made in the past was promulgating change upward before I promulgated it downward and sideways. I made a change program and brought it up to the management for approval before discussing it with my teams. The management checked with the other players, and because they hadn't heard about my proposed changes yet, they objected to them. You have to collaborate in 3 directions in order to become a mover and shaker. First, collaborate downward to receive feedback from employees on the ground that will give you good operational feedback, and then make amendments based on their feedback. Second, collaborate sideways. So when you introduce your proposed change to your peers, it is based on the feedback you have received. Then make amendments again. Third, propose the change upward. Now you're ready to face the decision makers because you have got all the support you need from your teams. But internal collaborative change is not enough. No matter how many talented people in your organization, there are always more talented people outside your organization. The best change ideas may be in the brain of somebody that doesn't work for your company. So you better get out there and find this person. There are plenty of ways to steer change by collaboration outside of your organization. First, find your topic on your professional network and join a conversation in the relevant group, or start a conversation in a relevant group, or start the relevant group yourself. Second, go to conventions, seminars, summits, and workshops. This is how I met a Blue Ocean strategy facilitator and initiated a change process through collaboration outside of my organization. The fourth way to drive change is through innovation. The highest level of innovation is disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation helps create a new market that disrupts an existing market in ways that the market does not expect. Some disruptive innovation examples are digital cameras replaced film cameras, LCD replaced CRTs, music downloads replaced CDs, LED replaced light bulb, and Wikipedia replaced encyclopedia. It is not easy to develop disruptive innovation, even though there are more chances today to disrupt a market than ever before. It is easier to develop incremental innovation that is baby steps toward a new design of internal processes, products, or services. The first thing that comes to your mind when you hear innovation is probably a new product, but changing a process is also innovation. Zappos sells shoes, but their innovation is in the service, not in the shoes. Incremental innovation is less scary, less risky, and less expensive. But my favorite innovation practice is hybrid innovation. Hybrid innovation combines 2 existing separate technologies, systems, or processes into one. A combination of 2 existing technologies can be approved as a new patent. So pause the video for a few moments, concentrate and think about processes or services you are involved. Write down what 2 products, services, processes, or teams you can combine together to create hybrid innovation. Welcome back. Don't worry if you haven't found a new idea yet. New ideas will come later, so try again. The 7th effectiveness strategy is risk-taking. The higher you climb the corporate ladder, the more is at stake for you personally and for your company. Senior executives tend to take fewer risks. They call it risk mitigation. But the truth is that CEOs do not complain about people who take too many risks or push too many new initiatives, new products, new services, and new revenue streams. CEOs complain about people who play it safe. Do you have the courage to challenge the status quo, especially if your bosses are the ones that are promoting the status quo? Do you have the guts to fight the bureaucracy and go beyond the boundaries of your job description? We all face the same fears. It is the ability to walk through the fear that makes the difference. Fear leads you into smaller life. In fear, you procrastinate, rationalize, hesitate, make excuses, become paralyzed, and ultimately end up living less fulfilling life. It is your choice on how to handle fear. You can feel the fear, but do it anyway, or you can give in and stop taking risks. When you walk through it, fear loses its hold. If you run from it, fear gains power. The more you walk through your fears, the more courageous you become. So let's look at different angles of risk-taking. The first angle is taking an opposite stand. My toughest experiences were when I took an opposite stand from the rest of the group, especially when I was the only person taking an opposite stand. It doesn't make sense to take an opposite stand about a fact that can be verified, right? It is worth it to take a stand about critical direction or values where there are different options and you have a strong foundation to prove your stand. Here is one example. I took a strong stand against launching a new product that contained sugar, even though it was instructed by the founder. Sugar is not on any values list, but sugar is on my convictions list to the point that I was ready to lose my job. I believe sugar promotes diabetes and other degenerative diseases. My perception of sugar is similar to cigarettes. I will never work for a cigarette company for any amount of money. So for sugar, I offered a solution of natural sweeteners, and the reformulation delayed the product launch by 2 years. I didn't lose my job. I actually made my signature expression on all the products by stripping sugar and directing toward healthy products. I made a difference in the world by improving the health of thousands of people. So taking a strong stand about a strategy or a direction, even if it is not popular or even if you are alone, is crucial to accomplish your goals. People will not remember you for what you agree with, but they will remember you for the stand you take opposite to the herd. The second angle is what I call mapless navigation. Most people look for a map either when they lose the way or to find the way. The map is a metaphor for best practices or other people's experiences in handling similar problems. It is the paved road. It is enticing to immediately Google for a solution or find answers for your questions. But the most amazing, enriching, and fulfilling processes are found without a map. You create your own path. Next time you have a question that requires an answer or a challenge that needs a solution, take your time, close the door, disconnect from the digital noise, and brainstorm with yourself or with your team. If you didn't find a solution and the deadline is coming, get the solution through your regular channels, but start to create your own map, and you will be amazed at what you are capable of. When I started writing, I initially researched only external resources. I didn't think about tapping into my own experiences. But once I tried it, a flow of ideas erupted like a volcano without using external resources. Give it a try and give it some time to warm up until one day it will erupt. The third angle of risk-taking is detachment. Risk might not be real. It may be a perceived risk. So in order to look at risk from a different angle, you have to detach yourself from all your subjective perceptions and preconceived notions. Detachment is the ability to view life without attachment. If you develop the skill to see things without attachment, you will become an asset to your company. So in order to take higher risks, you have to try 3 types of detachments. First, detach from your emotions. The emotions that are associated with risk are anxiety, uncertainty, and hesitation. Second, detach from the situation. When you are involved in a situation, you look at things through the subjective glasses of the situation. Watching the situation from the balcony allows you to react without attachment. Third, detach from your opinions. Once you form an opinion in your mind, you close the door to other options. The 8th and the last strategy for effectiveness is endurance. Endurance is the quality of withstanding difficult situations. It is about duration and perseverance. I have met too many people who have lost opportunities because they didn't have the required endurance or patience. The first endurance strategy is the 3-year milestone. Too many people change jobs too often. Many experts explain and justify job hopping as part of the young generation culture. If they are not happy in their job, they look for a new job. Then they are not happy in their new job, so they start shopping for the next job, believing it will ultimately make them more happy and successful. The rat race for the perfect job continues on because they never ask, is it about a job or is it about me? I wanted to quit every job within the first 6 months. But every time I made a conscious decision to endure for 3 years, regardless of my perceived hardship, I was always happy I didn't quit. The 3-year milestone is the optimum point where your effectiveness escalates exponentially. You break through all the initial barriers and begin fulfilling your true potential. You know your business model down to the smallest details. You know your customers' needs. You know your markets, and you know your industry. It is a powerful combination of knowledge and experience. But above all, it is the point when you fully assimilate your company's mission and values. For this reason, I am reluctant to hire managers that don't break through the 3-year milestone. About 80% of the resumes received by my office are from people who have spent less than a year on the job. Some people have spent only a few months in a job and claim achievements that you and I cannot claim in a lifetime. There are 2 lessons here. The first lesson is for you as an employee. Stick with your employer for at least 3 years. At the end of the 3 years, you will be in a better position to judge whether your employer fits your life's purpose. The second lesson is for you as a manager. Hire team members who have performed consistently for the same employer for more than 3 years. These are leaders with stamina. These are leaders that will stay long enough to grow their personality and commit to the organization through time. These are leaders that will stick to it long enough to make genuine and long-lasting contributions to your organization. My average service has been 5 years per employer. The second endurance strategy is to hire your successor. Succession plans are on the agenda of many companies, but only few really execute long-term succession plans. It should be your goal to find and groom your successor. Let the successor know your plan so he or she will be motivated. Your chances of getting a promotion are higher if you have a successor. If you don't have a successor, you may stay in your position forever. Having a successor opens new opportunities for you. Help your company to promote yourself by grooming a successor and make sure that your successor has a successor too. One of the toughest choices to make is to hire and groom a stronger successor than you. It is scary to manage a highly skilled and competent successor who may put you in his or her shadow. If you dare to groom a stronger successor, you will be perceived as confident and successful. A strong successor will push you out of your comfort zone, challenge you, and reinforce your personal growth. I was promoted from a financial controller to a CFO because I hired and groomed a successor who was way better than me. I was promoted from a COO to a CEO because I hired and groomed a successor who was more experienced than me. I would have never been promoted if I didn't develop successors. My two successors are currently CEOs of large corporations. So overcome your fears. Hire and groom a strong successor. The third endurance tool is the opportunity evaluator. How should you evaluate new career opportunities when they come your way? When you receive a call from a recruiting firm, should you jump on it just because you had a confrontation with your manager or because you are frustrated with your salary raise or performance appraisal? I would like to give you a formula that you can evaluate objectively new opportunities. The formula is the future terms of the proposed offer should be higher than the present terms of your existing job. Well, this is a common sense, isn't it? But most people evaluate the contractual terms, and if they are higher than the existing contractual terms, they quit their jobs, right? So here's the opportunity evaluator that takes into consideration many other aspects. Terms are defined as T stands for time on the job, weekends, holidays, and late nights. E stands for energy required internally toward employees and externally toward customers. R stands for resources such as relocation. M stands for money, your salary, bonuses, stock options, or other perks. And S stands for sanity, the impact on your family and friends. Evaluate the 5 terms of your present job against the 5 terms of any future opportunity. But even that is not enough. The formula adds 4 more aspects that the future opportunity has to exceed the present one that you should consider carefully. First, professional development. How the new opportunity advances your expansive career plan. Second, personal development. How the new opportunity advances your personal goals. Third, purpose and values. How the future opportunity progresses your purpose and values. And fourth, lifestyle. What type of lifestyle the new opportunity provides, like travel or becoming an expat? If you take all of these parameters into account when you evaluate an opportunity, you will have a good chance to make the right decision. Let's wrap up the third module, effectiveness, that completes the first half of the course, inner leadership. We have covered physiology, prioritization, power hours, distraction, focus, change, risk, and endurance. I hope this serves you in your journey toward world-class leadership. Please submit your comments and questions below, and I will see you in the next module, dialogue, that opens the outer leadership section. And until then, every single day, believe in your purpose, conceive your accomplishments, achieve your highest potential, and live a meaningful, fulfilling, abundant, and love-filled life.